From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Then we say, okay, go out and live your best life and figure out how to be an adult. That doesn't work.
Prioritizing choice, how Billings advocates are responding after a White House executive order aimed at curbing homelessness.
The state is going to build a building, period.
A new state hospital, why Billings could be its future home, and what concerns local officials have.
A lot of those kids are busy and active in other extracurricular activities, or again, back to school and college.
And the last splash, why pools in Billings are closing earlier than usual this summer. Those stories and much more coming up in the next hour. Good morning and welcome back to Montana This Morning on this Tuesday, August 12th. I'm Hailey Monaco here with Miller Robson. Good morning, Miller.
Good morning, Hailey, and happy Tuesday, everybody. Ready for some hot temperatures, aren't you?
You know I am.
It's on the way. Now, yesterday we did a weak cold front come through, so it kept those temperatures down just a smidge. Our high of 82 here in Billings, so about 6 degrees below the norm. Our low of 62, though, a few degrees above average. Top gust yesterday of 25 miles an hour. Was a dry day yesterday, so we're a bit in the hole for the month, still ahead for the year, so we're still in pretty good shape. Got to tell you though, folks, there's not a lot of moisture in the forecast as we move forward. We were eyeballing this area of low pressure heading our way. It is going to shoot a cold front through the area, trying to cool some temperatures down as we get into the latter part of the week. But that low with that moisture, it's going to stay to the north, so not a lot of moisture going to make its way into our area. Now, we do have a little bit of rain this morning just coming out of Winnett, also in portions of Garfield County, Rosebud County. Most of us not seeing anything, and that's probably going to be the case as we move forward over the next several days. Temperatures this morning as we wake up, my friends in Williston, North Dakota, sitting at 56, 54 in Glendive as well as Jordan, 57 in Miles City. Broadus, you're at 60. Forsyth with a little bit of rain possible this morning at 62. We've got 50 in Harlingen, 52 in Livingston. Red Lodge, you're at 54, 51 in Sheridan, but 10 degrees warmer in Cody, sitting at 61 right now. Here in Billings, we're at 60, feeling pretty good. Humidity at 72%, dew point temperatures at 51 degrees, and the winds are calm. Take a look at that day planner. A lot of sunshine today. By lunchtime, we're around 80. By the drive at 5, heading home into the low 90s with all that sunshine helping us warm up. We're going to get into the 90s today in Billings, even hotter tomorrow. We'll take a look at that with the main forecast coming up in just a bit.
All righty, looking forward to it. Thanks, Miller.
Okay.
And this morning in Washington and starting yesterday, President Donald Trump is taking unprecedented action in the nation's capital, putting D.C.'s police department under federal control and deploying the National Guard. He says it's to fight crime and clear homeless encampments. The president is calling it a public safety emergency, while data shows violent crime is down 26% and homicides down 12%. The order also lets states take control of their unhoused populations, even forcing treatment or making arrests. One Billings group says it's crucial the unhoused still have a voice in their future.
It's great if we put somebody in a residential treatment facility like Rimrock. We give them a 30-day head start, but then we say, okay, go out and live your best life and figure out how to be an adult. That doesn't work.
Her mission hasn't changed, serving the community, offering resources, and being there whenever someone needs a place to turn. With more on how they're making it happen, here's our Vanessa Willardson.
It takes a long time to build relationships with people who've been really deeply hurt and traumatized. And those folks aren't always ready to just jump right into a service.
President Trump signed an executive order in July titled Ending Crime and Disorder in America's Streets, allowing states to remove homeless populations from the streets and place them in mental health or addiction treatment facilities involuntarily.
We've criminalized all of these things simply because people don't have access to shelter in a home.
Local advocate for the homeless, Carrie Boyder, reacted to the order, saying involuntary treatment for homeless populations could prove ineffective, as the journey to recovery contains many roadblocks.
It is impossible to get a job when you don't have a place to shower, when you don't have clean clothes, when you don't have a cell phone number for that job to call, when you don't have transportation to get to that job. Those are all barriers that have to be resolved.
One addiction treatment center in Billings, Rimrock Foundation, prioritizes choice for the people they treat in their homeless outreach program.
Recovery isn't one size fits all. The path to recovery isn't one size fits all.
Manager of Business Development and Community Outreach, Sherelle Garding, says the foundation uses their homeless outreach program, or HOT, to assist people living on the streets. The team assists people in getting insurance, social security cards, and identification cards. and helps them decide the next course of action, providing long-term solutions.
What I say about inpatient treatment is it's like putting a Band-Aid on a hemorrhaging wound. So it is never enough, and it has to continue.
The HOT team helped 200 people in 2024, but those are just the people documented. According to Guarding, the team reaches out to 40 to 50 people per month.
You can call our main number, 406-248-3175, and be like, I need to get in touch with the HOT team.
The foundation has not experienced change due to the executive order and plans to continue to provide care to the best of their ability. As for Boyder, she hopes the homeless will receive the care they need as an individual, and that effective care will grow in the community.
That's when real change begins to happen, with ownership from the individuals involved as to what they want to do, what they think is the next step that's attainable for them, realistic for them.
In Billings, Vanessa Willardson, MTN News.
Vanessa, thank you. Now, Trump's orders come ahead of Friday's high-stakes talk with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss ending the war in Ukraine. The meeting will be held in Alaska, with a key issue being the territory seized during the 3.5 years of fighting. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is not currently scheduled to attend the meeting and says any decisions made without Ukraine are against peace. Well, in court news, a mass murder suspect in Anaconda is behind bars on a $2 million bond. 45-year-old Michael Brown is accused of killing 4 people inside the Owl Bar on August 1st. After the shooting, Brown vanished after heading toward the mountains, triggering an 8-day manhunt. He was finally caught Friday near the Ranch Bar off Highway 1 in a structure that had already been searched. In court on Monday, Brown spoke, but only to answer if he is currently working or if he has a phone.
Have a current phone number?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you work anywhere?
No, sir.
Okay.
Brown is now being held in the Butte Detention Center. And with Brown now in custody, Anaconda residents say they're ready for life to return to normal. After a week of unease, many hope they never have to go through anything like it again. This morning, MTN's Megan Thompson speaks with homeowners about the tension, the relief, and the aftermath.
Here along Montana Highway 1, the suspect in the Owl Bar shooting that took the lives of 4 Anaconda residents was apprehended just a few doors down from here. Now, residents in this area say that they're just trying to get back to a sense of normalcy.
Well, it's pretty quiet. This is about as active as it gets, a lawnmower going.
Dan Sorum lives just 2 doors down from the property where authorities arrested Michael Brown on August 8th. Near a camper trailer. The property owner asked not to be filmed, but he allowed me to film the location of the arrest. How does it make you feel knowing that it's over?
Well, a little bit relieved, but still not quite. Not quite relaxed yet.
Dan says he's not sure why it took 7 days to apprehend Michael Brown, but he could see how someone could avoid detection in the dense underbrush and the hundreds of sheds located on private properties in the area.
It's pretty easy to duck in and out of everything here. I mean, just the guy was probably half smart. He might have been out of his head, but I still think he knew what to do.
Dan gestures to the south and lists off sheds and trailers on his property and others in the neighborhood. He says throughout the search, officers did not stop and ask questions or relay safety information to residents living between Stumptown Road and Highway 1.
I would just wish somebody to come knock on the door so they could have said, hey, we're looking for him pretty close here, so keep an eye out. Nobody ever stops. So.
Michael Brown is currently being held at the Butte-Silverboat County Jail. He made an initial appearance via Zoom where a $2 million bond was set. Charges were not stated at this time. In Anaconda, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
Megan, thank you. Well, in a developing story, 4 people walked away alive from a fiery plane crash yesterday afternoon at Kalispell City Airport. The plume of smoke could be seen across the city. The Kalispell Fire Department reports that a smaller jet aircraft was on approach into the Kalispell City Airport when the pilot lost control, crashing onto the runway. An investigation from the Kalispell Police Department showed that when the plane crashed, it hit several other parked airplanes, starting a few fires on those parked planes. Incredibly, all 4 passengers made it off the plane safely. 2 of those passengers were treated for minor injuries. Several agencies responded to the crash, including Evergreen, Smith Valley, and Whitefish fire departments.
Responding out of the station, we saw a fairly impressive column of heavy black smoke. We arrived here and found 2 aircraft on fire, and we also discovered the fire had extended onto the taxiway a little bit. Thankfully, all 4 people walked away from this. We did treat 2 people for very minor injuries.
The Kalispell Fire Chief says the Federal Aviation Administration will handle the investigation. In continuing coverage, Billings is in the running to become the site of a new mental hospital for Montana. With the state hospital in Warm Springs facing transportation and capacity issues, the 2025 legislature approved $26.5 million for a new location. Now, state leaders have their eye on the Magic City, more specifically, the Heights off of Skyway Drive. For the latest on this possible project and what city officials are saying, here's our David J.
One possible location for the state mental hospital could be on Skyway Drive between High Sierra Boulevard and Alkali Creek Road.
And this was the last of the 5 sites that we looked at that afternoon. And this site here is up near High Sierra Dog Park.
Yellowstone County Commissioner Mark Morris was among those receiving a postcard from the state about 5 possible places for a mental hospital.
My biggest concern is, were we asked if we would want this here? We weren't asked, we were told. The state is going to build a building, period.
Billings Deputy Mayor Mike Boyette, along with Morse, have questions such as what will be built, how many beds, how many people will be employed. Boyette says the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services and the Board of Investments like Billings for multiple reasons.
They want city water, they want city sewer, they want access to the jail, they want access to the hospitals. So they don't want to go very far away. They want to be close, if not inside Billings.
If they're the state hospital, why do they need Billings Clinic or St. Vincent's?
According to Senate Bill 5, the state has until June of 2026 to start building the mental health facility. Senator John Esp tells us that he expects to see the plans for that facility sometime this week.
My first question to the state was, how are you going to staff this?
How sure are you that this is going to happen here in Billings?
I'm not sure at all. Nobody has told us anything. I can't be sure about anything because the state has not shared any information with us.
Ultimately, would we like to have something like this for our part of the country? Sure, why wouldn't we? But there's a lot of questions that haven't been answered. That's my concern.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.